As the holidays draw near, the pecking order in the gold and blue leagues of the Continental Classic become ever so clear. I'm John Renton with my review of AEW Collision from GalaxyCon in Columbus, Ohio. Whatever the fuck GalaxyCon is. Anyway, I decided to review this because I was bored, and why not keep up on the Continental Classic stuff? So apparently Cardiff, Wales is going to host Collision next week. I'm not going to be watching that, at least at the time that it happens. Maybe I'll do a review if the show ends up actually being worthwhile, but I'm going to be working while that show is mostly going on, and because I at least am going to review one more WWE show this year. John Cena's last match is occurring, so yeah, there you go. That's your rundown. Speaking of rundowns, I wish somebody had run down some of the booking for this show. Run it down, then run it over, because boy, some of the match times seemed like they were run over, like the cup runneth over. Like two wrestlers, one cup runneth over. You're welcome. So, Shivani, Nigel, and Ian Riccaboni on commentary. So, Orange Cassidy against Roderick Strong, Blue League match. You know what? No. Strong focused on Cassidy's bad back. But I focused on making sure the producer was fed, and because it's the same damn shit with Orange Cassidy. You like him? Great. I don't. And we got a twisty roll-up. 1, 2, 3. So there you go. Cassidy got the victory, and Roderick Strong is going to get upset and leave the conglomeration. And why does any of this matter? So Darby is somewhere in downtown Seattle, I think near the pier. In fact, I think I recognize that area. And apparently he has nerve damage of some variety and is out of the Continental Classic. One, I hope Darby's going to be okay. But don't worry, they have a great person to be his substitute. It's going to be great. A great replacement. Jack Perry. Why? For what reason? Why not just get like somebody cosplaying as Forky? They'd be about the same size. Why is Anthony Bowens not being given a chance? Where is Jay White? I have so many questions. Jack Perry? Whatever. Stokely, by the way, is a helium tank in human form. Fitting, because they're both about the same height and sound about the same. And get the same amount of hose. FTR cut promos, and look, I love Dax and Cash in the ring. I'm over this shit. I'm over this. Juice and Austin show up, and basically they want a tag title shot. Okay, that pretty much summarizes that whole segment. It wasn't that it was bad, but I'm starting to not care about some of the feuds going on in AEW, despite the fact they are really trying to drum up interest for this tag division. But the cause is lost with some people. So then, speaking of causes that are lost, why are they giving Shafir any promo time? Between her promo ability, her wrestling ability, and her usage of cookware, good God, she's a trifecta of terror. As in, holy shit, this is terrible. Yuta's there, the mop-top idiot that doesn't fucking deserve any television time. And Garcia, they had Garcia talk. Stop having these three on your program so much, Tony. There are ways to utilize talents. There are also people that are never going to grow beyond a certain level. And if I'm going to kill WWE for holding on to the same people and pushing people down our throats, this is pushing people down our throats. Shafir is rotten. She will always be rotten. Somebody needs to sit her down and tell her that. And Yuta, what the fuck do I need to say about Yuta? Oli versus everyone, Bischoff versus Flair, Brett versus Bill Goldberg, Austin versus his abused wives. Me versus Yuta. Probably could have left that previous one in the drafts, but whatever. Claudio took on Mascara Dorada in a Blue League match, and honestly, this might have been my favorite match of the whole thing because or at least of the whole show, even though there are moments where I'm like, okay, Dorada really needs to slow down, but then again, Lucha, you don't really do that. This match did need more arm drags. It only had about 20. Actually, I only think it had about 5, but it seemed like 20. But there was a nice run off the top, and Claudio recently beat someone for a championship in CMLL. I forgot who. Was it? Who was it? I forgot. Was it? Buddy of mine will know who it is. He's probably screaming at the goddamn device right now. But an uppercut and a shooting star press, shockingly, 1, 2, 3. Dorada got the victory. Okay. I'm not against it. But after Claudio beat Mox, which he should have, because Mox should have been doing jobs well before this, it's a bit shocking, but I guess it keeps, things a little bit more level. Shivani is with all 4 women that are going to be in the tag tournament final. You have Harley and Willow on one side. You have Mina and Tony and Flasher Raincoats on the other side. And I know things were said. And Tony was just there for the free booze. And you know why? Because the bubbles sting his nose. Actually, whatever. This is probably the best use for Shivani. Just use him backstage. Then Shivani's in the ring and Swerve comes out. And I'm sorry, but I like Swerve as a talent, but that theme is not good. It's not good at all. He basically is coming for Joe. He is coming for gold. He is going to kill Hook. Go for Shibata and his new brain. Separate him from his new brain. Get him a better brain. Switch the brain from, evil to good, and he'll go back to being whatever the fuck he is. Okay, then Josh Alexander had a mic for a promo that went absolutely nowhere. He talked about people that he beat and stuff that he's done, and look, great, he took out Kota Ibushi. He would have done that on his own, by the way. And the fuck Don Callis chance. Oh, the Don Callis has a stranglehold on this business. Or the business in a chokehold. Yeah, there was another Canadian family man that had his family in a chokehold that somehow was probably about as equally painful as watching this. Like, I'm sorry. Look, I'm glad that Josh Alexander took the guaranteed money. And I'm hoping that he's happy and he's set for life. But I'm starting to see why he was in Impact for so goddamn long. Because this went a while. Oh yeah, Okada took out Swerve at Forbidden Door. I forgot that. Bitch. They're going to have a match in Cardiff. I believe it's going to be a contenders match. Who gets a title shot? God forbid if it's Josh Alexander. God help us. And then Shibata clips his leg and, but Alexander uses the ankle lock. I don't think Alexander could win a battle, against, a fucking corpse at this point. He's not really all that terribly interesting. And he was part of the winning team at Full Gear. Good for him. The cause is lost with this guy. So, my mute button got stuck for some reason during the Mercedes promo, which is just as well because I wouldn't have been able to hear because Lexi's outfit was too loud. And then Mercedes, who recently lost the Ring of Honor TV Championship, that long 2.5 week run that she had as champion, lost it to Red Velvet. What was the fucking point of Red Velvet losing that if you're just going to do... It's stupid! What was also stupid is the fact that they thought Layla Gray should get more television time despite improving, but also not having an AEW match in at least 2 years. I don't remember the last time she wrestled on AEW programming. When was it? Seriously, any factoid people, let me know if I'm wrong. So, Christopher Daniels got hit with a Meteora. So much for retirement treating him with dignity. Layla may have hurt her knee and got tapped out. By the way, this was for the TBS Championship. You know, that title that used to mean something. Till Mercedes and her goddamn bullshit decided to hold on to that goddamn thing. And I know that Tony Khan is likely the one making all these decisions and wrestlers are just going along with it even though they have input. But you cannot tell me that the TBS title is in a good place. If she doesn't lose it by World's End, you might as well throw it in the trash. Are Jim Duggan's daughters able to be booked to be janitors and pick up the title and declare themselves TBS champion? Because it would mean just as much on them as it does right now. I mean, I'm sorry, this crash out. She could lose the TBS title. She could hold on to those indie titles for goddamn forever. I don't care. The women's division needs strong champions. And Mercedes as TBS champion ain't it, Chief. Yes, she has delivered some good matches this year, but it's fucking painful. Almost as painful as listening to whatever the fuck bullshit it is she goddamn memorizes. Go be an actress, honey, or try to be a fucking wrestler and talk like a human. God damn it, Toots, you probably should listen to people that know more than you, such as people in that company. But Eddie is very fired up. Eddie Kingston, that is. He wants to beat Joe. He won't, but he wants to beat Joe. I would pop big if he will not beat him, but I would pop big if he did. So, then basically the Sisters of Sin, or the Triangle of Madness, attack a bunch of jobbers. I don't know who the hell they were. I really don't know who any of them were. The camera work was really bad and whatever, but Tekla was whipping a couple of them, and then Julia and Sky did some memorized stuff. So, Ricochet, defending the national championship, took on Ace Austin, and there were bald chants, and they said show some love for Ricochet, but he's bald and loses fights with people on Twitter because he's not good with words. What he is good with is flips. Unfortunately, that's really all he's good. He's not good at wrestling, but he's good at flips. So it was what it was. Ace hit a nice superplex, and eventually Ricochet hit a lariat, a pop lariat, and then hit the Vertigo 1, 2, 3. Not a bad match. It was what it was. FTR then attacks Ace because he is part of the Gangbang Gang. I mean, the Gangbang Gang. Whatever. And that leads to Juice and Austin showing back up to touch the titles. Because that's something FTR didn't want him to do. Moxley and Takeshita had a Blue League match. And look, the idea is Moxley had a bad ankle. It's from carrying things. Yeah, from carrying the weight of his bullshit booking for the past, year and a half. I will forgive Moxley if he goes the fuck away for 6 months and just... Hell, I'd say a year, because I really don't want to see him anymore. But we didn't have to see any of the other Death Riders, at least until later, because the Columbus PD were asleep at the wheel. Anyway, Takeshita should have won, in my opinion, in 30 seconds. We shouldn't have gotten to a goddamn overtime. But they went about 7 minutes into overtime. So, it was what it was, and yes, there were some good moments in this, but I'm done with Moxley. I'm fucking done with Moxley. Takeshita having to sell as long as he did against the guy that, yes, is a star in AEW. Takeshita is the IWGP World Champion. Takeshita should be mowing people down. If you can't have him look dominant in the goddamn Continental Classic, don't put him in the goddamn tournament. Takeshita at one point kicked Moxley's leg out of his leg, but then Takeshita got his ankle busted. Why did this go so long is what I noted. The table didn't even want to sell for Mr. Dick the Boozer. And we got a near count out. We got near falls of Death Rider, DDT, or the DDT variation, foot on the rope, and then a knee, another knee, and Raging Fire 1, 2, 3. It wasn't actually a bad show overall. There are parts of Collision I do enjoy. The more wrestling-centric aspects of it I like. It's just the problem is, for as much as I like on this show, there's also stuff that I just can't stand. They need to have shorter promo. They need to have better people on promos. Stop having people like Josh Alexander and Mercedes talk when they can't. And stop having Shafir talk. Ever. At all. Don't say a word. Don't, shed a tear for her. Because my life would go on if she was not on this program. Anyway, that's all I gotta say. Maybe next week I'll review it, but it will be after John Cena's last match. Because, yay! That'll be it. That'll determine if I review any WWE next year, which is not going to be a lot. But until then, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter, Letterboxd, Blue Sky handles in the description. I'm John Rentlin. Until we revisit the Continental Classic again, happy trails to you.